the objective of this event is to bring together the youth and encourage them to be social actors and change makers of the nation. Youth play an important part in our society, and they are the future of the nation. They have the ability to make a difference. And another objective is to bring about an understanding of how Sikhi can be a part of everything and anything we propagate toward. Sikhi can and should play a major role in our, in the way we think, the way we act, and the decisions that we make on the day-to-day basis. Before we begin, we have invited 4 panelists who are equipped with expertise for this session. So first and foremost, I would like to welcome Dr. Saran Kaur. Dr. Saran Kaur has worked for many years at UKM. She's worked hard and developed her career step by step, starting as a language teacher and then moving on to becoming a professor. And the height of her career was when she became the first Punjabi Sikh woman to be appointed as Deputy Vice Chancellor of University Kebangsaan, Malaysia. She has worked with youth her entire career, developing various programs. And one of the highlights was working with ASEAN Secretariat to develop the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. She's now retired, but she still focuses on youth, and she's a member of an NGO called Ekta. And she helps through this committee. She has a passion for helping youth to find their voice, to express their ideas, and discover their unique strengths. And welcome, Dr. Saran. Do you have any words for us?
Thank you. I just want to tell the young ones here, their faces look so bright and some of them look a bit worried. Don't worry. Smile. If you smile, you cannot be worried. All right. And we're all here, to help you and to make sure that you do a good job. So nothing to worry about at all this afternoon. Okay. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Saran. Next, we have Dr. Gurtern Singh, who is an educator. He's present here with us in the studio, I believe. He's worked as a teacher and a trainer at the Ministry of Education and is currently lecturing at University of Nottingham, Malaysia. Welcome, Dr. Gurtern Singh. Would you like to say a few words?
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you, Yashpreet.
Oh, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear? We are trying to get it connected. Okay. Can you hear, Yashpreet? No, not yet. Test, one, test. Okay, test 1, 2. Not yet, I suppose. Yashpreet is still looking. Okay, can you hear, Yashpreet? Not yet. Waheguru. Not yet. Yeah, I'm using his now. Waheguru Ji. Can hear? Can you hear? Yashpreet, can you hear? Right, okay. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sorry for the technical startup there. It's good to see everybody, and it's good to see my fellow panelists, Dr. Saran. How are you? You are also coming in from quite far, yeah? And Yashpreet is in Shanghai. Ajit Pa is here, and so is Parmit. Parmit is also not in the studio, but she is also from another location. So thank you so much for having us. It's good what what Dato just said, that all of you are looking a bit nervous. And you know what? Looking at you like that, we are getting nervous. So don't look so nervous, yeah? Because you're making us nervous. I can't take this too much. People like us a bit old, so enjoy yourselves. It's good to see your backgrounds. There are many, many countries today we are going to be introduced to. So all the best, everybody. Thank you, Yashpreet.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dr. Gurtern. Our third panelist is Parmeet Kaur. She has more than 14 years of experience across the financial, investment, digital, and startup industry. I'm getting messages that you can't hear me. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Benji.
Yes, Benji.
Yes, Benji.
Loud and
All
clear,
right.
actually.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So currently, Parmeet Kaur, she is the founder and partner of a consulting firm that empowers companies to leverage consumer data, analytics, and digital assets to unlock new opportunities and drive measurable, sustainable impacts to their businesses. Parmeet Kaur, very welcome. Would you like to say a few words?
Waheguru Khalsa, Waheguru Ki Fateh. Hi everyone. Very glad to be here with all of you, and I hope I can share some, good advice or input. But I think more importantly, I'm really looking forward to listening to all your brilliant ideas. So yeah, like the other two panelists had said, nothing to worry. Just be yourself, and all the best to all of y'all.
Okay, thank you. Last but not least, we have Ajitpal Singh, a graduate from University of Nottingham in mechanical engineering. He worked as a technology consultant for 8 years before starting his own business in real estate industry. He's also an exco member of Sikh Naujawan Sabha Malaysia and a committee member of our host Gurdwara Sahib Pataling Jaya. Would you like to say a few words, Virji?
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizing committee, Dilpreet and her group, for initiating such a good session. And I would also like to thank the other panelists that took their time off today to join the session today. And to all the participants, don't worry, relax, take it easy. We are just here to help you, not to judge or critique you too much. We just want you to give us your take on what a successful nation is and for us to share with you what we think. All right? Don't worry. Okay, Benji, that's all.
Thank you. Welcome to all the panelists, and I thank you all for taking your precious time to be with us here today. So moving on, all the participants present here today have been working very hard over the last 3 days, building their nation from the get-go. And basically all the members of ruling party were assassinated. Their nation is in need of help, and they have been they have taken over. So let's see what changes they have come up with for their nation. Before moving forward to the presentations, let me go through some important points regarding markings and time. We have 4 jathas presenting today. We'll have a roulette on the screen to decide which jatha's turn is to go first. And each jatha will have 10 minutes to present. You'll be given a time prompt at 9 minutes, and there will be a gong to let you know when the time is up. After that, the panelists will give their feedback and ask follow-up questions. There will be a pair of 2 panelists per jatha. However, if other panelists have something to add in, they're free to do so. And the presentation will be marked on your content, visual appeal and creativity, presentation skills, and the incorporation of the Sikh element. So now, if all the rules are clear, how are the jathas doing? How are you feeling? Are you all ready? Yeah, give a thumbs up so I can see. Okay, good. Okay, so then I guess we can now begin with the roulette and see which jatha goes first. So we have jatha 3, right? Can we put this on the spotlight? Jatha 3. Okay, do you guys need a few seconds to be ready so we can start in a few seconds?
Who are the panelists for Jatha 3, just to be sure?
So the panelists for Jatha 3 will be, 1 second, Dr. Gurtern and Dr. Cern. You'll also be the panelist for them. All right, Jatha 3, are you ready? You guys can unmute yourself for the presentation.
Benji, because we have trouble sharing our screen, they said the admin will share for us.
All right, good. Okay. Can you all see the screen now, the presentation?
Yes, Benji can.
All right, so are you ready? Can we begin the time?
I can't see it. Yeah, we can't see it.
I can see.
It's on the spotlight. Everyone go to your speaker view, then you'll be able to see it.
I don't see it. You mean this healthy bites with Benji, Satvinder, and Heart Surgeon?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so we can see that. Oh, yeah, we can see that.
Please let me know when you're ready to begin Jatha 3.
We need to share the screen of the presentation. Okay, all right. Okay, maybe begin.
Okay, so Jatha 3, your time starts now.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. To the lovely Sevadars, Jathedars, and the panel boards. I am Jasdeep, and welcome to the wonderful presentation made by Jatha 3, aka Helicopter Jatha. We were given the Europe continent and we chose United Kingdom. Our nation is called Alu Gande. The slogan that our nation goes by is to serve, to love, and to care. This is our beautiful flag. The potato represents the Alu that is present in our country's name. The Union Jack represents unity between different races as our nation is a multiracial nation. And finally, the Khanda represents the major and founding religion in our country, which is Sikhism. Next slide. We have a 4-year mission statement to ensure the growth and stability of our nation. Our main purpose of our 4-year plan is to improve education, healthcare, and make a
better environment for our nation. Next slide. We have 4 main objectives that we have to accomplish by 2024. The 4 main objectives are, first and foremost, is to increase the literacy rate nationwide. Secondly, is to create a systematic education system to ensure that the Aluganda country has very bright students. Thirdly, is to provide every citizen which is under the age of 18 and over the age of 63 healthcare. Last but not least, our Aluganda country will produce green tech to ensure that our country has a low carbon footprint. Next slide.
We, the Aluganda nation, have a name for our plan. It's called the Revolution of Aluganda. Next slide, please. During the span of from 2022 to 2025, we have a certain amount of objectives we want to achieve. In 2022, we want to achieve affordable healthcare, while in 2023, we want to achieve a systematic education system. Then in 2024, we want to increase the literacy rate nationwide in our country. Next, in 2025, we want to be able to be a green tech country. Next slide, please.
Objective 1, affordable healthcare. Next slide, please. Next slide. Healthcare should be at an affordable price because there are people from the lower class and some in the middle class that may be sickly but unable to afford these bare necessities. Healthcare is very, very important as it can improve our health and well-being, prevent diseases, improve quality of life, and etc. And we as a nation think that everyone deserves proper and affordable healthcare. Right now, we don't have enough resources to make healthcare affordable, but with this new management, they are going to fund a lot more to make this possible. To make healthcare affordable, we can, for example, sell generic medicines in our drugstores instead of branded ones, like for the ones that are available. Generic medicine is cheaper. It's a cheaper version of actual branded medicine, and it works exactly the same. It's effective, it's safe, and it's the way to move forward. Once everything is in its place and going smoothly, then we can start developing more generic medicine. Next slide.
Our second objective is a systematic education creates a nation that are bright and literate. Next slide, please. Okay, moving towards the second objective for our nation, which is to have systematic education. A systematic education will help to create a nation that are brighter and literate. At the moment, we have a crumbling education system, which is also mean an education system which is not stable. But in 4 years from now onwards, we are planning, our aim is to have systematic education by increasing the technology usage in classroom. Next slide, please.
Objective 3 is about increasing the number of knowledgeable citizens. Next slide. How do we increase the number of knowledgeable citizens is first, our explanation is basically to incorporate motivational talks such as anti-bully, sex education, domestic violence, suicide in education institutions. At the moment, we have a lack of motivational speakers, but in the future, we would like to build a better nation by increasing the number of motivational speakers and making sure that it is as interesting as possible. This is to ensure that the students in all the educational institutions are attracted to learn more on all these issues. This will somehow increase their interest in learning or gaining more knowledge of this kind of issues. Next slide.
Objective 4 is about green tech. We will use green technology as it is harmless to both human and environment. Next slide, please. Next slide. It helps in improving the development of nation and a better environment. We promise to make sure this country practices a thorough hygiene check by inspectors to make sure drainage systems are not clogged and the cleanliness of restaurants and food industries are always in tip-top condition. This relates with what Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji promoted, which is a good healthcare system. We also promise to carry out more health campaigns. We will make it as fun and interesting as possible to win the interest of kids and adults to take part. This was what Guru Harkrishan Ji actually did in Delhi. He held campaigns during the outbreak of cholera and smallpox. Next slide, please.
The next policy is the green technology policy. We will use green technology as it reduces the environmental pollution, which relates to our health as well. Pollution rate in this world is shooting up and the number of diseases are increasing as well. The more the pollution rate increases, the number of diseases such as ischemic heart disease, stroke, lung cancer, and many more will increase as well. We will improve with the help of philanthropists, encourage and fund schools with universities alike to innovate and pursue such technologies under the curriculum. The next policy is the universal health care for under 18 and above 60. In all public hospitalized citizens under 18 and above 60 are insured with the universal health care system. All medical costs are free of charge because it is paid by the government.
I am the Education Minister, and today I'll talk to you about the education policy. Policy number 1 is public schools. When they go to Form 3, they will get to choose the subject that they want to participate in. The mandatory subjects that they must participate in are maths, one of the 3 core sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics, and English and Punjabi. We are doing this because Guru Nanak Dev Ji always encouraged Sikhs to gain knowledge. Policy 2, heaters. There should be a heater in all classes due to the temperature drop in Aluganda. The heater should be on for the autumn and winter season from 7 to 3:30, which is when the schools start and end. Policy 3, international school annual checks. There should be mandatory annual checks on the quality of privatized school and the maintenance of the syllabus to ensure that students cope for the international schools. The students need to integrate technology manufacturing under the Health Ministry into their syllabus. The rest is up to the management to decide, but all decisions need to be approved by the ministry. Policy 4, international schools. When they go to Form 3, they get to choose the subject that they want to participate in, which is the same as public schools. But they have to choose at least one extracurricular activities, such as TVET. These include classes such as robotics, design technology, and cooking classes. These are only for international schools as they have to pay extra, and these are held after school. Policy 5, maintenance for the public schools. There should be mandatory annual checks on the quality of facilities in the schools, such as benches, lockers, heaters, etc. This is to ensure that students can do their work with the working facilities.
I'm the finance minister, and policy 6 is school hours for all schools. The school hours in secondary schools are from Monday to Thursday from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. and on the school hours for primary schools are Monday to Thursday 9 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. There is no school on Friday. This is to ensure that the students have enough time to do their homework and get enough rest. Homework should not take more than 1 hour to reduce school stress and promote physical activities in the evening after school. Guru Nanak always prompted Sikhs to have fun in life as well as doing prayers. Policy number 7, annual budgets for the education. The annual budget for the schools is 50 billion euros. This is to ensure that all schools and universities have an even number of facilities for all students. This includes 1,750 euros per month and a month minimum for all teachers, and 2,000 euros per month for all lecturers in colleges, and the salary they pay as long as it abides with the regulation. The salary may increase with bonuses at any exponential rate depending on the merits and progress of the individual, irrespective of gender, race, or background. Having a good salary allows Sikhs to have good deswant and have a good lifestyle. No discrimination between people is what all gurus have promoted. Policy 8, school holidays. There should be 2 holidays per month minimum for all schools, as with a maximum of 5 days a month, including 29 days of public school holidays. School structures as follow and standardized. Seminar 1.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. Your time is up. I'm not sure we have more time for you guys, but we let the panelists give their feedback first. And if they have any more questions, then you can answer in more detail later, okay? So, okay. How much more of your slide is left, Jatha 3?
There is actually one more policy left.
All right, why don't you finish then?
And the last policy is policy 9, worst case situation. In the event of any circumstances that require students to be at home for learning, all teachers and students should go for a mandatory 3 days course on online learning and netiquette, which will be sponsored by the government. The classes should be exactly similar as per normal, as this gives time for prayers and family bonding time as promoted briefly in Gurbani. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you.
Thank you, Jatha 3. Let's go on to the studio to Dr. Gurtern.
Right. Thank you, Jatha 3.
Can I suggest something? Is it possible, Yashpri, that the two panelists actually have just a couple of minutes to discuss with each other first before we give our input to the students? Would that be all
Yes, no
right?
worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay too. How would you like to discuss?
Is there
Do
any
you
way
want
that we could discuss it together? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Could you create a
Admins,
breakout
can
room?
you-
Could you create a breakout room for the panelists?
Yes.
Yeah.
So while our panelists will take a few moments to discuss your presentation, do other Jathas have something to say? Do you want to add on any comments? Nothing? Okay. How do you feel, Jatha 3? Do you think you did well?
It can be another room also, doesn't it?
I think you did good. You should have confidence in yourselves.
It was scary because it was like we went over time a bit and we were really like rushing on to speak quickly so we don't run out of time.
It's okay. Even though you ran out of time, you still got the time to finish. You did very well. You should be proud of you all. I especially like the policy on the heaters in the schools. I feel very cold all the time. Do you want to share how did you get inspiration for your logo, Jatha 3? Your identity, your logo, and your name. How did you decide on that? Anyone
It was
want to
actually
share?
like joke between the Jatha, and so we just decided to name our country Aluganda.
Yeah, it was actually just a joke.
Someone got
And,
hungry.
it became a name
Oh.
of a country, and we thought it would be a really good, interesting, a unique name.
It is unique and it is very funny.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants to share anything while we wait?
Our name was also inspired by our JC, our GG, because he always likes to make us laugh and make inside jokes. So we actually did decide to use the name because we thought it might make everyone happy or make our country a bit happier when they mention our nation's name.
All right, that's good. Do other panelists have something to say while our Dr. Gurtern and Dr. Saran are discussing? Or are all the panelists in the
Hi.
chat? Oh, hi, Permeet.
Hi. No, well done, Jatha 3. I think it was interesting. I also had the question about why you call yourselves Aluganda and the reference to the United Kingdom flag. So any thoughts on that? Like why did you choose the UK? And
So we chose the UK because the UK has a lot of like nutrients and has a very good land. And surprisingly enough, we also did our research and they are able to plant potatoes and onions. And since they have different climates as the 4 different seasons, it can make it easy for anyone to like get used to the temperatures there. And we also chose the UK because even though it's really, really like cold, even during the summer, it's quite cool. So they're able to like plant a lot of crops that Malaysia doesn't have.
Got it. Got it. And when you were considering, revising the education system and the healthcare, did you think about the kind of values you want to bring in, especially for education? If you look at what's happening all over the world, I think we see, countries in not so many words, but, collapsing in certain ways, like the old systems don't work. And it's an opportunity to look at, how we run these countries, right? And to bringing in new ideas. And I think values play a very big part. And I think then that ties in well with Sikhi as well, in terms of what kind of Sikh values we could bring in administrating and, bringing about change, not just pushing technology, but I think talking about values. So I thought that could be something that, you think about. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm joining in the breakout room just for a few minutes. I'll be back. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so it's just us, no panelists. We can talk about anything. What is this Harry Potter chat going on in the chat? Why don't we talk like here,
Harry Potter is British, right? So in our one was United Kingdom.
Okay, I see. What else?
Hi Benji.
Hi.
You're from Shanghai, right?
I'm actually from India, but I've been living in China for 10 years. And right now I work in Shanghai. Yes.
So how is it there?
It's good. It's a very international city. So you get everything, all kinds of things from all over the world. Weather-wise, it's very hot in summers, humid. It rains a lot here too. Right now in winters, it's really, really cold. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it doesn't. Some winters, no snow. So, yeah.
Benji, do you know how to speak Chinese?
Yes. Do you want me to say anything in Chinese?
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
Anything and everything.
Benji, just ask us a question lah.
你们好，你们怎么样？
很好，很好。
我很好。
我们很好。
Oh, you guys speak Chinese too? I had no idea.
我们
Wow.
懂华语吧，老师？
Oh, wow.
对，老师。
I wish I knew
You
Chinese.
guys-
老师真美丽啊，真美丽。
没有没有。
老师那边几点现在？
What?
那边几点现在？
现在2:50，
时间一样哦。
一样，时间一样，对。
Were you
was there Sukhmani who wanted to say something?
Were you at
Sukhmani?
the 2019 Smelan?
Yes, I was there in 2019, and I don't know, maybe some of you saw me.
Then you're probably the one who showed me around when I was like completely lost in the big Darbar on that first day. And I was like looking for you for so long and I like where is she? And I was
Oh,
just so-
really? I was
Yeah.
new myself. I don't know how I was showing you around. I probably made you go lost.
I was in the main Darbar and then you told me to sit with you.
Oh, okay.
That's mid-
Oh, wait, I remember you. Now I remember.
You were so nice to me that day. I was like looking for you for the rest of the Smelan, but I couldn't find you.
And then we found each other at the end of the Semelan, right?
Yeah, in that room where you taught us how to make a paper aeroplane.
Oh,
And we had
yeah.
a test.
So nice to hear back and connect with all of you. I hope I can go to Malaysia soon. Right now with COVID and the lockdown, I haven't been able to go anywhere. I haven't seen my parents. They are in India for 2 years. I've just been stuck here, you know. It's been difficult, and just connecting with you all, being here, it makes me feel so good.
ਆਜੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਯਾਦ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
I'm trying. ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਹਾਂ.
Angie, there's some picture in the chat I sent from someone. You open
What-
up the picture and see. They want you to do something.
What is Super Idol?
I don't know.
What is Super Idol, guys? What do you want me to sing?
Can you sing a Chinese song for us?
Oh my God, no, I don't know any Chinese songs. I used to when I was learning Chinese. I learned a few, but it's been so long since then, and I have no recollection anymore.
The simple nursery rhymes lah.
I have no idea. Really, you don't ask me to sing songs. You can ask me to say something in Chinese if you want, but singing songs is the last thing I will do.
I wish I knew Chinese. My class is made of Chinese and they're always speaking it.
Wow. It's okay. It's not that hard to learn, but it's something you need to spend a lot of time on. So if you can give it time, you guys are still young, you know, if you can just give it more time and effort, you can always catch up. I was also very young when I learned it. So now if I would learn now, it would be very harder for me as well. No, Benji can't speak Malay. I was learning Malay and then for a little bit, and then I stopped, and then I started again, and then I stopped, and then I forget everything. You know, once you stop, you just forget everything. Why don't you guys teach me some words? I only know apa kabar and kabar bhai. Anything else you guys want to teach me? That's too basic.
Wait, didn't someone say it'll take only like 2 minutes for the judges?
I thought.
Can we continue? I think we're back here now, the panelists.
Okay, great. You guys are back. All right. I didn't see.
Sorry to keep you waiting. We needed to clarify certain things so that we do a fair job for all. You know, we found it good. The presentation was good, the content was good, but we just want to be sure about certain things. All right? That's the only reason that we got together.
All right. Thank you. So do you want to start, Dr. Saran, with the feedback?
We're not really giving feedback at this stage now. Maybe we may ask a question or so.
Okay.
To give feedback, okay, listening to all of you, excuse me. Yeah, listening to all of you, I'm so impressed by the way in which you have put forth so much of information. At your age, to be able to come up with information like this that you've obtained from the program is something that will carry you through. You know, being aware of current affairs is something I've always had a challenge with a lot of youth. And it's so gratifying to see being presented by Jatha 3. Right? Well done. Keep it up with the information that you've always got. But the only, if I were to say anything, it would be there was so much of information squeezed into 10 minutes that maybe one might want to extract the more pertinent ones and talk about them maybe in greater depth in future, if ever you have the chance. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your feedback, Penji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Saran. Shall we hear from Dr. Gurtern Singh ji, please?
Test. Okay, thank you so much, Jatha 3. Well done. Very good preparation. You know, your preparation shows, you know, it shows that you have done good preparation, you have done good references. I think, okay. So, well done, Jatha 3. No, just one or two questions, just to prompt you a bit, just to probe a little bit into this. It's very interesting you have all this planned out. Your healthcare, affordable healthcare, and then you are talking about knowledgeable citizens, you're talking about education, you're talking about green tech. But I also notice in your education policy, you have heaters in all the rooms. Yeah, you have heaters in all the rooms, and we understand that you know, heaters, maybe air conditioning, and we know that these kind of gadgets, these kind of things will emit a lot of carbon. So there's a lot of carbon emission, which will hamper a little bit your green idea of having a green environment. How do you explain this? Jatha 3, I hope you got my question.
The heaters they actually are green technology based heaters.
Okay. Okay. Another question is good. That's a very sweet, short answer.
Maybe Dr. Gurtern, we just limit it to one question because we're really running late.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then we can move on to the other groups.
So okay. Thank you, Jatha 3. We'll pass back to the moderator. Yes, Preet.
Thanks a lot. No worries.
All right, let's have the relay on. If the IT team can put it on the screen, and we'll see which Jatha will go next. Okay, who is it gonna be? Jatha 2. All right. So let's have Jatha 2's presentation. Are your slides also going to be on the screen here?
Yes, I'll be presenting that.
All right, great. So if you're ready, are you guys ready? Should we begin?
Give me a moment now. I'm sorry, I'm asking your forgiveness in advance if my slide gets stuck because my connection and sharing screen doesn't really get involved together. Thank you.
This is Jatha
2.
2.
Yes.
And okay.
Once you're ready, just say ready so we can start the timer. Also, is it possible for you to increase your volume? You are a little bit soft.
Me?
Yes.
That is because yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
That's better.
Yes, much better.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry for my internet connection. Okay, so
All
I'll
right,
hand
so
this over
let's begin.
to yes, I'll hand this over to Prabin now.
Okay.
All right.
Can I start?
Yes, please start.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hello everyone, to the panelists, to my fellow Jatha and everyone else in Samilan. We are from Jatha 2. Our continent given to us is Africa, and we've chosen the name South Samari based on South Africa, and our flag is based on the coastal areas.
So this is our country's flag, and these are the reasons behind it. The three ombre colors and the trident is to symbolize the sea as one of our main revenues. For example, it's the marines and ports. The color gold symbolizes our wealth and riches. The lion symbolizes our country's courage. The African continent shows we are a country in Africa and we are very proud of it. The star symbolizes the unity of our citizens.
Our country's official language is English, and the secondary languages are Portuguese, Makua, and Changana.
Ethnic makeup. We are a multi-ethnic nation, which means being a multi-ethnic nation, we will have economic benefits along with innovative ideas. Our ethnicity breakdown includes Africans, Americans, Asians, Europeans, Oceanians, for example, the Chinese, Sikhs, Africans, Jews, Muslims, and Hindus. Slogan. Our slogan is enjoy the cuisine along with the marine. A few of our reasons to why we picked this slogan was because one of our main revenues are marine along with port, so we decided to use marine. Another reason is to show the people in our country what they can get if they decide to come to our country. Our last reason is because the words marine and cuisine rhyme, which makes it sound more catchy. Our fundamental rights. We came to a conclusion that our fundamental right should be the right for citizens to have a freedom of opinion and expression, the right of speech, along with the right for marriage and have a family, to also have the right to own property and to have public health care and education, lastly, to have the right to vote.
Policies. The Chief Minister, Sahibakar, Educational Minister, wait, the slide is gone.
You're a bit soft. Could you speak louder?
As an NGO rep, I'll walk you through our education system. Firstly, our schools will be implementing minimum school fees so that families of all financial backgrounds will be able to attend school, and everyone will have the opportunity to learn. Reading periods, literature being included as part of the school curriculum, and reading-based competitions to be conducted will also help the students be encouraged to have good reading habits where they can learn many literary devices, learn how the books are written, and learn writing techniques from the books that they read, so that they, as a whole, they'll improve in their literacy education. Next slide, please. As technology is the future of the world, we have decided to put coding-based subjects as part of our school curriculum. This is to ensure that the students know how to code, as I stated earlier, because technology is the future. So the teachers hired have to be certified degree holders so that they understand the topic that they're teaching and will be able to teach it well. Also, they receive teachers training once a year so that they know how to handle the students. They know ways of teaching to make their class interactive. The resources such as the Wi-Fi connection and the computers used will be affordable, and they will be funded by our philanthropist, Mukam.
As an philanthropist, I'll fund 5% of my yearly salary to technology.
So the Sikhi value in this education is Vidya Vichar Tapar Upkar. So only that kind of education is worth its name, which makes a man a socially useful person, one who spends his life in the service of humanity. Mukti, liberation or salvation, has no meaning for the Guru if a man does not involve himself in socially useful work after attaining knowledge or enlightenment. Naam in Gurbani has very broad connotations. One is expected to immerse his whole self in Naam and thus transform his personality so as to work for the betterment of the whole humanity.
Now I will take you through the healthcare. For non-communicable diseases, a payslip system will be carried out. Citizens will have to show their financial statements and payslips to those in charge. Hence, the government will then fund citizens according to their financial situations. Non-communicable illness such as flu, cough, and fever will be charged SSD1, or also known as South Samarian dollar, for medical consulting and medication at public hospitals. There will be free medical checkup and dental checkup for two groups of citizens. First group is the kids, which is 0 to 17 years old, and the elderly, 55 and above. This is because we feel that these two groups are the most vulnerable to diseases. Free vaccines will also be provided. Sanitary items will be provided to females that cannot afford them. Self-test kits will also be sold at an affordable price in the event of a pandemic.
For the Sikhi behind the health, we chose the story of Bhai He was a true Sikh and an example we have used to guide us through our path for our country's healthcare. He was known for giving water to all the wounded members at the battlefield at the Battle of Anandpur Sahib, regardless of whether they were Sikhs or Mughals. He showed no discrimination and he was doing the right thing. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked whether it was true that Bhai Ji was doing this stuff, he answered truthfully and simply, "Yes, my Guru, what they say is true. But Maharaj, I saw no Mughal or Sikh on the battlefield. I only saw human beings. And, Guruji, they all have the same God spirit. Guruji, have you not thought us to treat all God's people as the same?" We use this as our guidance to show us that this is true and what we're doing is helping people and not showing discrimination.
Okay, so our mission, like our full mission of our country, is to make it progressive and peaceful for the people who live inside it. Okay, so our three main objectives are easily accessible healthcare. Second one is literacy, so that like everyone has proper knowledge and understanding of religions, and also cyber security, like which can also be implemented through education.
So here is our plan.
Firstly, healthcare will be accessible for everybody.
So for healthcare will have to be easily accessible for everybody. As stated earlier, we will have pre-vaccination come pandemic like COVID, and it will be easily accessible for everyone. However, mental health is also a growing issue, right? And we have decided to make mental health issues to be taught in school, mental health counselors to help people out. Also, because there's hygiene issues in African countries, especially in the water bodies where diseases can break out and can spread very easily. We decided to put in the new water system where the dirty water will pass through a partially permeable membrane and clean water will come out for everyone to use to drink, to shower, and for their daily needs. Next slide, please. Literacy, as stated earlier, will also be taught, but this time it will also be through religious studies in the curriculum. And every week, students will have to go for their own ethnic classes where they learn about their own religion. And they also will share about their own religion in front of their class so that everyone, all of the students will get to understand the religions of everyone else.
All right, guys,
so
your time is up. We are short on time, so I'll have to stop you there. Let's go on to, I'm really sorry about this. Maybe we can clarify more with the panelists in the question, when they ask the questions. So we have Permeet Kaur, do you have a question for them and feedback? Could you unmute yourself, please? We cannot hear.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So firstly, well done. I think there was a lot of information which I was just trying to contain myself. I felt that there was a lot of very, very important points, but maybe the structure was a little bit confusing. When I guess initially when I heard the education, technology, and then I think there was a bit of repetition when it came to the objectives. Maybe there could have been a bit more concise, effort to streamline all your thoughts. But I think you all covered some very, very important points. And I like the fact that you also highlighted things like the importance of mental health, as part of your healthcare plan. I like the idea of, learning about other religions, to instill, I think, understanding and, to have more peace, in your country as per your mission statement. I think on the whole, very, very well done. I think no specific questions at this point. I may be bringing up later.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Ms. Perneet. Can we go on to the studio to Ajit Palvirji?
Okay, good job, everyone. I have two short questions. One thing is, I know that the name of your country is South Samari, right? Could you explain what is the meaning of Samari? I think that was not addressed. And the other thing is, you noted that your economy drives around marine and ports. What resources does your country deal with, import, export, that requires you to have a port? Yeah.
For the country's name, we thought since African names are normally really unique, so we just came up with something that sounds original.
Also, based on some research, Samari means under God's rule.
I would like to answer the second question. I'm actually under the finance minister role. So about your import and export question, South Samari, which is also known as around Mozambique. So actually Mozambique is famous with coal, diamonds, gold. Around 2008, 483 tons of gold was imported out. So, so these are one of the imports and export that we are going to do around that's why we do need ports.
Thank you.
Do the other panelists have anything to add on quickly? Dr. Saran, could you unmute yourself, please?
I think we move on. I'll leave this for
All
the
right.
end. Yeah, I'll leave this.
Okay, all right. So thank you,
Well done.
Jatha too. Very well done. Let's move on to the roulette and see which Jatha is going to present next. Is it going to be Jatha 1 or Jatha 4? Oh, do we already have? Is it Jatha 4? Okay, I guess it is going to be Jatha 4. Are you guys going to share the screen for the presentation? All right. Just say we are ready so we can start the timer then.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, you can start now.
Okay. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, panelists, Jatha coordinators, and fellow Miripuri participants. Allow me to introduce to you Primasoria. Based in Oceania, it will become the most sustainable, innovative, and progressive nation to take us through into the 22nd century. Today, we will be sharing our vision and aspirations for the citizens of Primasoria and the world. So I'd encourage you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Here we are. Here we have the pride of Primasoria, our national flag. Our 5-star represents our 5 fundamental rights. The 4 white stars represent freedom of speech, assembly, and association. Rights to education, rights to an equal protection under the law, and represented by our only red star, which ties into the choice for the color scheme, as the red color represents universal brotherhood and equality. The white color of the star symbolizes pervading and everlasting purity and virtue. The Union Jack at the canton has been left there in memoriam of the 2 countries that merged to form Primasoria, Australia and New Zealand. As the Union Jack was the common factor of both flags, finally, the naval blue represents how Primasoria is surrounded by water as it is made up of islands.
Our national slogan is designed to unite all of Primasoria together. Here it is. 1, 2, 3.
Primasoria.
Go,
Go, go,
go. The slogan promotes patriotism, motivation, determination, drive to work for the desired results. Each goal has its own meaning. The 3 goals represents motivation, the affirmation that everything is possible, and determination.
The official language of Primasoria is English. English is the most spoken language in the world, and a strong command of the English language allows for more trade opportunities, easier tourism, and will effectively end miscommunication between speakers of different languages and do away with the need for people to learn other languages. We embrace languages from other cultures and the awarness of Primasoria.
Ethnicity. Primasoria is said to be a multi-ethnic nation. This is not only a moral question, but also will bring economic benefits. Ethnic diversity can be beneficial by enhancing productivity through innovation, skill, complementarities, or increased creativity, trade, and product variety. More markets exist with greater ethnic diversity in a particular region, since ethnic communities tend to specialize in particular fields of work. Greater diversity facilitates increased gains from trade. Living in a multiracial society also brings the benefits of increased awareness of cultural identity, tolerance and open-mindedness, creativity and innovation.
Allow us to now share on the 2 key policies that are critical towards the nation's building. We will begin with the educational policies. Education is one of the critical foundational aspects upon which Primasoria will be built upon. Education must go beyond academics, must work toward a holistic scope, covering people's development, values, physical and mental strength. This actually relates to Sikhi as well, when Guru Angad Dev Ji propagated the need for education, and he himself was a teacher then. Just like our policy is to create a uniform curriculum, Guru Angad Dev Ji created Gurmukhi for everybody, irregardless of caste or creed. Guru Amar Das Ji also established the Manjia system, which were centers of education. Our educational policies have been introduced to ensure that our education system is affordable, that it has a uniform syllabus, and an internationally recognized exam that all Premisorians will sit for, and that it has adequate learning facilities. We will also have monthly mental health checks to keep the mental health of teachers and students in check. We will also diversify and increase the academic facilities at university level, and we will also disseminate a new curriculum. Next, please.
The financial policies are essential to set the solid economic foundation for the future of the nation. Similarly, in Sikhi, Guru Amar Das Ji set the foundation to this through the Golak, as we know, the Langar was run through the Sangat contributions. This reflects the strong self-sustaining element in the Guru's house. In modern day, we have the taxation system. In Sikhi, our Gurus inculcated the Daswan scheme, in which we give 10% of our earnings back to society. Next, please.
We have an aggressive 5-year plan that would take on concerted efforts to put us on track to being a climate neutral nation and allows us to be one of the most aggressive countries as we move into the 22nd century. Next, please.
Simardev, could you carry on? Okay, never mind. I will continue for Simardev. Our plans will be built off of the core principles and values of Sikhi. One of the examples is actually ties into the Saki of Guru Har Rai Ji and the rose. Guru Har Rai Ji was wearing a regal robe, and it accidentally caught in the thorn of a rose bush with the cuff of his chola. He didn't notice right away, but the cloth pulled on the thorn, ripped the chola a little, and jostled the flowers. The petal of the rose broke off and fell to the ground. When Guru Har Rai Ji saw what he had done, that his carelessness had caused harm to another living being, he was devastated. Similar to the Guru's values of loving the environment, our country will have an economy that is environmentally friendly and renewable. We have been given this earth by Waheguruji, and we must preserve it to the best of our ability. Our mission statement is to transition Premisoria's economy towards cleaner and greener sources of income. And our 3 goals are to incentivize innovation, regulate the gap between economic growth and the environment, and to improve the economy of rural societies. For incentivizing innovation, we will be, especially in the fields of renewability, the costs of clean and green products and services will remain low. Furthermore, it also allows for the improvement of efficiency and reliability of cleaner and greener renewable products, making them preferred over products that harm the environment. The current state of the Premisorian government is that we support our citizens by empowering them to become more innovative through funding, grants, programs, policies, and education. And our future plan, is for Premisoria to become reliable and more efficient with cleaner and greener products and businesses that are affordable and useful or pay well for businesses. This can be achieved by making use of grants, ensuring fair trade and promoting the sharing of ideas, promoting the idea of headhunting for special individuals who have fantastic ideas in terms of innovation for renewability, and then organizing a worldwide annual innovation competition. For regulating the gap between economic growth and the environment, it is important that the economic growth does not take precedence over the environment. After all, the human race needs to exist for Premisoria to prosper. Currently, Australia is engaged in the Paris Agreement, where countries have agreed to reduce carbon emissions by 26 to 28%. However, it still fell short of its goals for carbon emission reduction in 2020, and our future plans is for Premisoria to have found a balance between economic growth and environmental health. This will be achieved by regulating the demand for non-renewable products, ensuring that carbon pricing policies stay relevant, and also having a committee of spending or investing control or regulation, which will keep companies responsible for their spending on non-renewable resources and possibly even products that harm the environment. Finally, for improving the economy of rural societies, in Australia especially, the primary source of income is still coal mining, which we all know is detrimental to the environment. The coal mining workforce in Australia is 40,000 strong, with a majority of the workforce coming from rural areas. Our future plans for Permastoria is for coal mining to become an obsolete, low-paying and undesirable business. We will do this by taking advantage of labor export programs, making land prices in rural areas cheap, engaging in a multiple nuclear model when building new towns, and providing government grants for businesses being set up in rural areas.
Our nation is built on the core principles of Sikhi and the values inculcated by our Guru Sahibanjis. These values and principles set a solid foundation towards nation building and our vision to be the most sustainable nation in the world going into the 22nd century. We will have a nation that prioritizes youth development as they are our future. Hence, a holistic education development program that is focused to build our line of successors for tomorrow. In addition, we will be confident that Permasorians will live in a clean and green sustainable environment. We welcome you to join us on our journey towards a self-sustaining green nation. Permasoria, go, 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 go. Pulchuk Maaf, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Jatha, for that wonderful presentation. Permastoria, very unique name. Let's go on to our panelists. Dr. Gurtern, do you have any questions for them?
Thank you. Well done, Jatha, for that presentation. There was a lot of information, yeah. So that shows a lot of background work that you have done, and I like the the environment consideration in what you do. I do not have any specific question, but well done for the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Gurtern. Dr. Saran. Could you unmute yourself, please? We can't hear you.
I'm so diligent in muting myself, but so lax in unmuting myself. I apologize. Yeah, I must just say that I would like to echo what Dr. Gurtern said. And I really like the way in which, when they came across different policies, they tied it up with the gurus and what the gurus did and what they recommended. I thought that was really very well done. And it's very enlightening. Just a question about Australia and how it approaches the coal mining industry. I think that's one of the serious problems. Is that why you think that your Prime Minister didn't attend the important meeting in Belfast this year?
Actually, I'm not Australian.
You're not?
No, I'm
Yeah.
Singaporean.
You're Singaporean, yeah, but
Yeah.
but this is current. It may not
This
be
is-
your Prime Minister, but do you think that's why the Australian, because you referred to Australia,
Yeah.
and in terms of the coal mining industry,
I think
is something-
it
yeah.
might be one of the contributing factors to why he didn't turn up, because although Australia doesn't really keep much of the coal mining profits, it is still their main way of generating electricity. So I don't think Australia is very eager to give up coal mining, because otherwise, well, they don't have very much infrastructure right now for renewable sources of energy.
Right, right. So all those good ideas that you put forth, I wonder how they will receive it, because in the end, the eventual goal of all of that is to get rid of coal mining, right? So it's important, I think, when one talks about renewable energy, one talks in terms of how countries can move gradually. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for them to do so. It's not something that they can immediately get rid of all the activities that contribute to carbon emissions.
I agree. Actually, we considered this. So we were thinking of maybe ways that Australia could generate renewable energy gradually. So we know that Australia does experience high winds at particular times of the year. So we thought we could make use of turbines then. We also know that part of Australia is in a basin. So actually dams and hydroelectric dams would be quite useful for generating electricity and around those parts. And also most of the countries, most of the cities in Australia are coastal. So we know that there are ways of like harnessing the waves to generate electricity. So these are a few ways that Australia could, you know, gradually move towards a more renewable way of generating electricity.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Jatha 4. Very well done. Let's move on to Jatha 1. Are you guys ready?
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome everyone to Jatha 1 Sikh Model Nation presentation. I'm Chief Minister Ramjot, and for today, I will be introducing you all to our nation, Unasia. Hope you enjoy. Our nation is located around the Saudi Arabian region in Asia. The official language of Unasia is English. However, we have many other second languages as well, such as French, Mandarin, Arabic, and Punjabi. The flag for Unasia, which can be seen on the left, is called the Hands of Unity. The circle represents never-ending hope, which was inspired by the takeaways from daily downloads on day one. The purple color portrays royalty and ambition. The circle of hands serves as a symbol of unity and togetherness, depicting how we rise as a nation by lifting others. The multicolored hands illustrate the acceptance of different backgrounds as well as racial equality. The hands holding onto each other suggest the idea that different cultures and races in Unasia are all considered one community, despite coming from different backgrounds. The slogan for our nation is "Where Less," which translates to "Where Hope Never Ever Ends." We use the combination of our official and second languages to emphasize the togetherness of our nation. Where Lespoor is French, Mulagan is Arabic, Kade is Punjabi, and Slay is Mandarin.
As a proud citizen of the country Unasia, our fundamental rights are firstly, all people are equal before the law and are entitled to the equal protection of the law without discrimination. This right pinpoints equality, which is a principle that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji introduced to us. Next, every adult has the right to marry and have a family if they want to. They shall not be judged if they choose not to do so. Every citizen and non-citizen has the right to freedom of religion and no discrimination based on religion. This right was inspired by Maharaja Ranjit Singh's governance when ruling India. Furthermore, every citizen has the right to receive health care. Just as Pai Kanaya highlighted to us to see divinity in all beings, Gurbani says, "Nako beri nahi begana," which means no one is my enemy. I get along with everyone. Our last fundamental right is poverty and starvation eradication through increased production and more equitable distribution of wealth so that the rich don't get richer and the poor don't get poorer.
The ethnic makeup of our nation is we don't force anyone to be in our country. That is why our country is multiracial. We do not have majority race, and all peaceful religions are allowed in our country. Our population is respectful of all regions and races. Next. These are the roles that the people in our party hold. The people in power are fully qualified and were elected in fair democratic election.
As Shadow Chief, this is our education policy. Policy number 1, citizens and non-citizens have the right to education. Non-citizens would either have to fulfill requirements for student visas or be charged a reasonable fee. Number 2, we will ensure schools provide recommendation letters for all outstanding students, regardless of their race, gender, and background. And number 3, all educational facilities will include proper resources to ensure that students have access to an optimal environment that will enhance their learning. It states in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, "Ped Mundahu Katya This style is secunde, which means a tree cut off from its roots cannot have healthy branches and leaves. Hence, a great nation needs a strong foundation in education.
Next is the health policies. The first policy is healthcare practitioners upon completion of their practical training would be fully absorbed into the healthcare system. The second one is citizens would be eligible for a Medicare account, which is a public health insurance system. Medicare covers all of the cost of public hospital services. It also covers some or all of the cost of other health services such as mental health care and women health care. The pharmaceutical benefit schemes, PBS, which also falls under Medicare, makes some prescription medicines cheaper. Our mission statement is to increase the quality and resources of education in Indonesia. We have three main objectives. The first one is increasing literacy rates from 75% to 82%. Second one is revamping the teacher education system. And the last one is increasing funds in education. Our plan name is Operation Owl, which means obsessed with learning. And the reason we choose the animal owl is because it's a rare spirit creature. It represents wisdom, patience, solitude, deep connection, and intuitive knowledge. This is our time frame for our objectives.
As refugee for Indonesia, our first objective is to increase literacy rate 75% to 82%. Next slide, please. Current state adult literacy rate is at 75%. Future state to increase the adult literacy rate at 82%. We plan to achieve it by boosting the enrollment in schools, college, and universities. Primary and secondary education is open to everyone and free. Providing scholarship, free education, and special awards to women will increase their interest to pursue education. English will be taught as main language, and students are encouraged to pick a second language. So we must encourage teaching in the fourth secondary language of Indonesia. Handing free books is not enough. Fostering love for reading should be the aim. Provide educate transportation system and improve security at education hub.
For the second objective is revamping the teacher education system. The current state is lack of professionally trained educators. For the future state, all educators, both locally and internationally sourced, possess the necessary qualifications for the department in which they teach. How do you plan to achieve it? To provide educate training centers and internationally sourced educators. Explanation. Establish a career education department within the Ministry of Education. Introduce an updated curriculum to foster 21st century skills and meet employees' requirements. Develop a career education program in primary school and strengthen overall career guidance. Teachers are such as teacher education and professional development. Import the teachers with the specialty that is wanted in Indonesia.
Objective 3. Increasing funds in education. Our current state is funding in educational sector is inadequate. What we want in our future state is provide grants to support effective teaching and learning. How we plan to achieve it? Redirect funds. The explanation for this is ensure education sector gets sufficient allocation of the annual budget, which is about 20%. In our annual budget, we will ensure sufficient funds are allocated to the education sector, boost the number of teachers in the workforce due to attractive salary packages. Our nation is fortunate to generate high income from the petroleum and tourism industries. That's all from Jutawan. Thank you. Waigu Jika Khalsa, Waigu Jiki Fadil.
All right, thank you, Jatha 1, for your presentation. Let's hear from the panelists what they have to say. Penji Parmeet Kaur Penji, would you like to say something?
Yeah, hi. Well done, all of y'all. Just two questions. I think when you shared that you wanted to increase the literacy rate from 75% to 82%, I guess in my mind was why 82? I would usually just rate for 100%, but I would like to know why you say 82%. Any thoughts for that? Or is it just random?
I think we chose 82 because a lot of people would say that 100% would be unreasonable. So we chose a goal that would be easier to get, and also a goal that would be achievable, so that it doesn't seem so big that we can't achieve it.
Did you look at maybe making a reference to any other literacy rates around the world on getting some comparisons?
Yes, in Saudi Arabia, actually, their literacy rate went up, took over for them over 20 years to reach to 97.6%. So if it took them 20 years, probably 5 years would take a bit lesser. I feel that we should do it step by step so that we can actually do it nicely, and also it's actually predictable for 82% to be there. But thank you for the question.
All right. Second question is, you mentioned repurposing your funds to education, and to invest more in the different specialties required. Are there specific specialties that you know that you would want to invest in within the education space?
Like facilities. For the facilities, we have like if you want to put aircons and have teachers which are professionally educated, because in Saudi Arabia there aren't like really good teachers which are having degree. So that's what our aim is.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I get a very good view that, I think for your Jatha, the focus is a lot on education. And I think that came across very clearly. So well done.
Thank you, Parmeet Penji. Moving on to the studio, Ajit Pal Virji, would you like to make some comments?
Hello. Yeah, I just noticed that the head of your country is called the chief minister, or in some slides, the chief. Is there any reason that you have named your leader such?
That was just the roles that we were given. That was just the name of the role. Yeah.
And with that voice, he has to be the chief. Who is that gentleman? You can't even see him. I mean, I can't see him.
Ramjot, we can't see you.
Okay.
That's you.
Oh, that's our chief minister.
You've got a voice. That's the chief minister.
And one
sorry,
more thing,
Yashpreet, to interrupt.
And one more thing, just a comment. Very interesting that your color of your flag is purple in the background, because there are not many countries in the world that have the color purple in their flag. It's one of the most rarest colors, just for observation. Good job, guys. I think everything else was good. I think you went really deep into all your areas. Presentation all around, really good. Thank you.
And they kept the time. And they kept the time.
Yeah.
How long did they take? I'm just curious.
I think probably 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Yeah, another precious 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Since all the Jathas have finished their presentations, I think the panelists would probably like to get into a breakout room and discuss and compile the scores and everything. So while could the admin or IT team create a breakout room for them again? And while that's going on, we'll just have a chit chat with our participants. And we will finally announce the winner for the Sikh Model UN.
Philanthropist and like the nation is also giving us money, so that's basically how we get the money. And then also the country itself has enough money to do that. If we don't have enough money, we won't put the budget that high.
So like you spawn in with the money beforehand.
Yes,
It's just
exactly.
Minecraft but with creative mode.
The question is how you get the money. How did you get like all the money from before? How did
That's
the
what
government
I
get
just
it?
explained.
we
We
didn't
have
explain.
like all the philanthropists and our nation.
But you
people.
can't be relying on that, right?
That's
Okay,
what
okay,
I
we
said
are
also. Our
exporting.
country itself
We
has
are
enough
exporting
money.
our goods.
But no
So
matter how many aloo and gande you sell, you still cannot make 50 billion euros.
Yeah, how are you going to make 50 billion by selling aloo gande unless your aloo
Exactly.
gande are
These
made
are
of gold?
Is that gobi?
And it also takes a while for aloo and ganda to grow, so it's not like you're gonna get sufficient harvest.
Yeah, also, what
Yeah.
if you are overtaken by some snowstorms and the weather
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
support?
Yeah, which continent you guys in this?
Okay, okay, let's not go too negative here. Okay, the debate has started. The debate has ended. So let us stay in peace. Let's not
Yeah,
go
the
into
judges did ask us the
We
question.
cannot have World War III. We cannot have World War III. So many new nations in this world, and we cannot have World War III already.
But we were mesmerized by your
Okay,
presentation.
all
So
we're
we
saying is
just
by
really
Guruji's
wanted to know.
grace, we have enough money, so that's the end of the discussion.
Yeah, Guruji imparted the
Yeah,
money.
by Guruji's grace, we have enough money, so no other questions, please.
But you must do kids Karni to get the money also.
No questions asked.
By Guruji's grace, by Guruji's grace.
Any other questions for any other Jatha?
Please don't ask Jatatri anymore.
Wait, I have a question for Jata 3.
Jatha 3 again?
No.
Yeah.
Jatatri declined your question. Sorry. Too hard.
Our Jatha only got so many questions. We very interesting Jatha. 100 billion questions.
Just ask
Donald Trump
Let's see
also
how
asked.
successful our Jatha, so many people are wondering.
Why you guys jealous? Why we have so much money?
Yeah,
at the
that's
start?
why you're all very jealous, right? Your country.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money.
Then why are asking about the money if it's not about the money?
Party, right? He assassinated
All
the
right.
previous party, right? We just sold their bodies, lah.
Okay, guys. So let's talk about what have you been doing for day 1, 2, and 3? What was your experience like? I wasn't there. Why don't you tell me about that? Which day was your best? Where you had the most fun? Was it day 1? What did you do in day 1? Was that the time where you did the flag making and identity?
We made
Nobody
flag
wants to.
and slogan there.
Okay. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yeah, can.
Okay, I'm not too soft, yeah?
No, you're not. Loud and clear.
Okay. So, who wants to say which day was there that you enjoyed the most? Any experiences you had that you really liked?
Actually, day 2 was the best because of
Okay.
Raja Virji. You know, right, Raja Virji?
Yeah.
Yeah, after his IPS session, we had a personal Q&A session with us.
Okay.
We literally asked some random questions to him. And he deliberately just had to put down Liverpool fans. And he's like, don't say that I'm a Liverpool fan. And one of us, I don't know who was that, then with that wallpaper like from Dheeraj, the name under the namespace they put Raja Virji is a Liverpool fan.
I think I saw that. I was there.
That wasn't me, that was someone else. This we did to troll him on the next day on our morning daily downloads.
Yeah.
Then he started talking about Liverpool again. So some of us like got pissed, so we made this.
Everyone just goes
Okay.
to watch Chelsea after this Liverpool and Man debate.
I hate Manchester United.
What?
Yeah, I can't seem to turn on my video. The host has stopped it, so I'm just gonna talk without the video. I think our panelists are back. All right. Okay, I'll hand it on to the panelists. Would you like to give a general feedback first or comments before I get information on the scores and the winners?
Sure.
Yes, Dr. Saran.
Dr. Gurtern, would you like to start first? Is he there?
Dr. Gurtern, are you here? Oh, he's coming.
Then maybe I'll just start while we're waiting for him to set up. Shall I, Yashpreet?
Yes, please.
Okay, I from my heart, I would like to say I've learned so much from all the 4 groups because I came into the picture quite late. So I don't really know very much about the program except what Dilpreet briefed me on. But I think it's a wonderful program and I must congratulate the organizers and congratulate the participants as well. It's been quite an amazing amount of work that they have put in, the details of the policies, the details and the creativity that they worked out with their names and the ability to answer certain questions. I think that was very important. If this is the kind of youth that we are going to have for the future, then we don't have to worry very much. The world is in safe hands and we know that they will be able to take us forward. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Saran. Dr. Gurtern, would you like to give your feedback?
Anyway, they are in mute, actually.
Test. Okay, can you all hear now?
Yeah,
Yes,
now
please.
can.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Now, first and foremost, I was also telling Dilpreet yesterday, day before, that this is a fantastic activity. This is a very good activity, something that has, put so much of added value to E-Samelan, especially for this group of our youngsters. And this just goes on to prove that all of you are so fantastically good in discerning knowledge, discerning information. It is very important because information, there's so much out there. And they have given you the parameters, the organizers, well done Dilpreet and team. The organizers gave you the parameters on what you want to do on the first day, second day, third day. There was a time limit for you to submit at 9 p.m. And I think all of you worked very hard and came up with very interesting concepts, very interesting perspectives on this model Sikh nation. So it's very, very interesting. Thank you so much for all this fantastic. And most of you, because education was one of the aspects, so everybody touched on education. Now, when talking about education, it's interesting to see what's happening. But again, not forgetting TVET. Somebody did touch on TVET. And one more important thing that I think you all should also be aware of is special needs education. We tend to, if you look at the more developed nation, they have given a lot to these special needs children. But some developing countries, including our own country, we are still, giving them, still slowly moving into this. So your nations, your Sikh nation model, please give good consideration for special needs education as well. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much and well done. Congratulations. It was tough for us to decide, but we had to decide. Yeah, thank you. Yashpreet, over to you. Or shall I pass to Ajit Pal? Ajit Pal?
Yes, the other panelists might want to say something.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Okay. I would like to say that a very, very good job by all the participants. I was very, very impressed by the depth and the way that you have presented it, the content, and your ideas in making a successful nation. I think it was something that was mind-blowing. I was really, really impressed. And as what Dr. mentioned earlier, that if these are the youth of the future, we don't have much to worry about. Kudos, everyone. I think you did a really good job. Keep it up. Keep going. Keep striving to improve. And thank you to the organizers for organizing such an insightful program. I think it's an eye-opener and it keeps our minds open to how we can develop ourselves further. And yep, good job, everyone.
Thank you, Virji. Let's go on to Parmeet Benji.
Yeah, actually, fantastic job, everyone. And I think it's an amazing program as well. I think it allows all of us to challenge ourselves and to look forward to something better. And I think we all know that the world could do with better, you know, and each one of us need to do better ourselves so that we can play a bigger role in, you know, defining the kind of nations that we want to live in, you know. And I feel that the hope is really in the youth of tomorrow and of today, because, you know, the things that you bring up is what really matters. You know, a lot of times we see politicians talk about things that in the grander scheme of things don't make that big a difference, you know. But when you talk about the environment and, you know, bringing in value systems and mental health, I think these are real issues which unfortunately in most of our education systems today, they do not focus enough on. So, and, you know, I think bringing in the Sikh concepts and making it more practical in our day-to-day living, and because they are practical, you know, and the fact that you brought it in so well into the kind of policies that you want to formulate, I think kudos to all of y'all. And I hope we have more of such programs going forward, and keep challenging, keep opening up your minds, and, you know, and once again, you know, thanks for also bringing in the concept of inclusivity and unity. Because I like One Jatha when they said it's important to also study other religions, because a lot of times we get very stuck into just what we know in our religion. But if you really focus on the concept of oneness and ikunkar, then the idea is that how do we include everyone and understand that we're all human beings at the end of the day. So kudos to that. So thank you all for having me here as well.
Thank you, Parmeet Benji. I am really impressed as well, and I'm really, really thankful to all the panelists for their time and their comments. I think like this group, they are called Miri Piri, and Miri Piri is really like, you know, the strength, not only spiritually, but strength also in the worldly sense. And these two really go hand in hand. And without one, the other one cannot sustain, you know, efficiently. So both of them, like the groups have really combined it all like in a really nice way together. If the facilitators can just show me the current standing for day 1, day 2, and day 3. Dr. Saran, you would like to say something?
Just a very, because it's so relevant to this, if you could just indulge me. You know, Miss Punjab became Miss India and has now recently become Miss Universe. You all know that, I'm sure, right? You're aware of that? You didn't know. You didn't know that we have a Miss Universe who is actually Miss Punjab. Okay, let me read from you what she said at the interview, because what she said at the interview applies to all of you here and what you just did and what you've achieved. She said this to a question in the contest. She said, the biggest pressure the youth of today is facing is to believe in themselves. To know that you are unique makes you beautiful. Stop comparing yourself with others. And let's talk about more important things that are happening worldwide, which you have just done. Come out, speak for yourself, because you are the leader of your life. You are the voice of your own. I believed in myself, and that is why I'm standing here today. So all of you, you believed in yourself, you worked on it, you delivered it, and that is why you are standing where you are today. Well done. I just felt it was so appropriate.
That's really very, very important to share, Dr. Saran. Thank you so much. in the today's time, that is so true. We have, with COVID and a lot of stress happening, it is not easy. It has affected everyone's mental health, and we shouldn't forget that believing in ourselves is very important, and believing that Guru Sahib is always supporting us and with us. That is our strength, and we can, just be ourselves and get out there. And that's what every one of these kids have done today. So kudos to all of you.
Give them all a
I
big
think,
round of applause, I tell you. All
yeah,
of them. All of them.
Test. And also, Yashpreet, I would like to say comments to Yashpreet for joining us all the way from Shanghai. Yeah, you are in China. And thank you so much for being such a brilliant moderator. Yeah, so
Very good.
kudos to Yashpreet as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurtern Singh. Thank you so much. I am actually very grateful that you made me a part of this. This has really helped me as well connect with everyone. It's been difficult for me too, and thank you all for really being so supportive. So I'm just waiting on the results and the scores. And while we wait for that, I think let's see what is the standing for all the jathas for day 1, 2, and 3, if we can have that.
Prize first.
They want to know what the prize is. I'm not sure what.
Don't make me
I'm
laugh.
not sure what the prize is. I think it's going to be a cash prize, but I'm not sure what it is. I think your facilitators will probably let you know at a later date. So does anyone have a current standing on what is the positioning of each jatha for till day 3, not including today?
Yashpreet, I think Dilpreet is working on it. Yeah, you all are working on that. Yeah.
Just tell us who were the facilitators.
Yeah, Dilpreet, you want to come and tell us also about the fantastic people behind the scene?
Yes, we don't know. Please tell us. And Dilpreet herself, she's done so much.
Oh no, it's fine. Okay, sure. Yeah. So for this event of Sikh Model Nation, we somewhat conceptualized it first, and then I thought about getting facilitators who were also very much into the topic. So 3 of them were Kavaldeep Kaur, Alvin Dave Singh, as well as Sarabjit Kaur. And these are people who are in our community and of our age as well, and very much indulged with, the Sikh youths as well. So it was very nice to see, when I first came out with the idea on just switching up a little from the previous one, and sort of got them on board, and we sort of made it in a way where it also fits with the students of the age. And it's so interesting because our age group is from 12 to 19, and some 18 and 19-year-old. And it's so crazy. Like, I mentioned this to the participants as well, but for some people, for students who are from 12, 13, 14, and 15 to come up with such content is insane. We structured it for day 1, day 2, and day 3, and it's amazing. It's so amazing how they sat through so many meetings as well, even after the session, to sort of come together and come up with such great content. I'm so happy to know that the panelists do recognize this and also have mentioned it. And I also hope that participants also recognize that you all did such a great job. Yeah. So the results are actually going to be up right now. And we'll just give it like another 10 seconds. Yeah, you can put it. Yeah, so we'll just get Vijay to come back and we'll put up the results. Okay, I can. All right, Yashpreet, I would just, so for this particular session, I would take over a little bit from Yashpreet as well, as we discussed. Okay, so results for the Mary Piri. So for day 1, day 2, and day 3, so for day 1, day 2, and day 3, we had facilitators handled, alongside myself, we handled sessions from 2 to 4. And each day we count into participations for the students. And these are the standings that we have. Jata 2 is in the first place with 24. Very close call with second place with Jata 1 with 23.4 and Jata 4 with 22.5 and Jata 3 alongside. And then moving on, we had the nation identity where the participants had to put up their flags and their slogans and also description, sort of embracing the idea of branding of your nation and how eventually that is your image. And so students were supposed to pick on, besides their own nation, which is the other nation they would, if they had an opportunity to visit, which would it be and which would they choose? And so these are also currently, again, we have Jata 4, second we have Jata 2, third Jata 3, and fourth Jata 1. Maybe are y'all excited to find out who are in the current winning positions?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, nice. So coming into the third and the fourth place for the finale of Sikh Model Nation. Ooh, we had a little sneak peek, a little one. We got a little bit. Oh, another one. Oh, another one. Oh, now they're messing with me. Okay, can we have the drum rolls, please? There we go, there we go. And for the fourth and third place, we had a tie for both Jata 1 and Jata 3 at 70 out of 100 marks as well. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Yes. Do you want to add into a comment for this, or shall we? No? Yep. We're contented. Ooh, we've got clapping hands in the background. Good job, guys. Yes, good job. As stated as well, we've got everybody just ignore the bottom part, okay? Just ignore. Yes. Anyways, coming to the second and the first place. Anybody wants to guess who's in the first place?
Jata 1.
Jata 1. Your Jata 1's in the first place. Anybody else? Jata 5.
Jata 4.
Jata 4.
Jata 4.
Jata 4. All right, let's find out. Can we get a drum rolls again? There you go. And in first place, we have Jata 4 at 95, followed with Jata 2 in second place. Good job, everybody. Yes, good job. Congratulations to all the Jatas for winning. We did not have a fourth place because the panelists were mentioning how difficult it was to come up with the scorings and placings as well. And trust and believe the gift prizes are awaiting for you, and we will be handling it personally with each Jata. As well as we had a little sneak peek of Best Speaker. We had a note to point out for this Sikh Model Nation presentation, there were so many great presenters. Too many, but we had to pick one, and there was one that was outstanding, and that was Harja Singh. Harja Singh was pointed out as to be the best speaker. Congratulations, Harjas. How are you feeling?
Can you show us?
Harjas, come on.
Hello?
There we go, our best speaker. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I'm quite happy.
That's good, that's good. Harjas, actually I'm in the same Jata as Harjas as well. And he's obviously done such a great job overall. Definitely a leader and definitely, obviously, clearly a great speaker. So coming to end of this show event as well, we want to definitely thank the panelists. We've got Dr. Gurtern Singh, we've got Ajit Pal Singh. We've also have Parmit Kaur and Dato Dr. Shen, all the way from Langkawi, also supporting. More importantly, we also have such a great moderator, Yashpreet, for being so accommodating all the way from China. Definitely appreciate her and appreciate her efforts in being so flexible. To cut off this session as well, this is going to be the end of Sikh Model Nation. Viji, how about you take a seat as well? Yes, there we go. So at the end of the session, here we go. At the end of the session, we are going to close this up and thank everybody. Maybe you have done such a great job, and don't feel disappointed because for the third placings, even fourth placings had gifts, and it's definitely going to be so rewarding. We'll hit you up later. As well as for Jata 1 and Jata 4, the champions. Woo, my Jata! Anyways, okay. So thank you again, panelists, and thank you again, moderators, and all MIPs. The sessions will continue as usual, and the channels will be open. Would anyone want to say any last few words from the panelists or moderator? We're good? All right, we're good. Anyways.
Thank you.
I need a photo taken.
Your photo?
Photo, because I have to report to ECFA that I was involved in this.
Okay,
Yeah, why doesn't everyone just turn on your cameras? Let's take a screenshot, everyone.
Yeah, that would be great. Give me something. Just a general one from the outside. All right, someone take a, yeah, we're taking a screenshot? Okay, yeah, we'll take a picture, we'll send it to the panelists as well.
Everyone,
Can everyone on your cameras, come on, Mukam Singh, Sukraj, Harpreet, let's go. Last one, let's go. Fantastic. With all the flags on. Hanji?
You can get special guest, huh?
Okay, special guest. Who's the special guest?
Harjot and Malinder.
All right, nice.
Please turn on your cameras.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Fantastic.
You.
All right, thank you, Dr. Saran, as well as Dr. Gurcharan, Ajitpal, and Parmeet, as well as Yashmeet. This is the end of the session, so let's all together say, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Feel free. Thank you to you.
No, thank you for coming in and being so supportive. All right, this is the end. Bye.